Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sophie and my daughter Ava, who is with us today, because you don't want to go for naps, do you? Today I'm talking to you about hospital bags. Because I've already had Ava a few months ago, I thought I would film a video where I tell you what I packed in my hospital bag and what I actually used out of the hospital bag as well. Now I'm going off my memory as much as I can, and I do remember most things, but I'm sure there's a couple of things I may have forgotten. Feel free to remind me in the comments below if I have forgotten anything. This list will also be in the description below in case you are packing your hospital bag too. So first of all, I have two bags here. This one I used as my bag and this one I used as Ava's bag. Now they're just basic bags that have quite a lot of space and little pockets that I can put things in. So I packed my hospital bag at 32 weeks. If you haven't seen my pregnancy story yet, then please check that out. I will link the description below. And that explains the reason why. I know most people pack their hospital bag about 36 weeks-ish, but I did pack mine at 32 weeks just because of the chance of Ava coming early. What are you doing? What's it? First, most important thing you need is your pregnancy hospital notes. It's usually a big blue book. After you've been discharged, they do take it away from you, so I can't give you my example. But that is the most important thing, and to avoid leaving them at home, I kept them in my hospital bag from 32 weeks, all ready to go, and whenever I needed them for appointments, I would take it out and put them straight back in my hospital bag after, so I know that they're ready whenever I needed to leave. And secondly, when I got there, I needed to change into my labour clothes. So I actually just used basic nightie from Primark. And that was just because I knew that it might get dirty and sweaty. It's just something that I can then throw away after and not be missing. For my labour, I also packed a flannel, and that was to wet, cold, just in case I was hot and wanted it on my head, because it's always nice to have a cold flannel on your head, especially because hospitals are really hot, and when you're in labour you also have the added sweat from pushing and all the other things. So 100% I would recommend that. I didn't actually use it because my labour was so quick. All the things that I packed for my labour I didn't use, but if my labour was longer, probably would have used this and a lot of other things. So the third thing that I wanted to pack was my earphones, or you could perhaps ask the hospital if you're allowed to play music out loud in your private room, and that would be useful if you packed, I don't know, like an Echo Dot or a speaker or something like that you can play calming music to relax you. Again, I didn't use this at the time. I wanted to take records of my labour, so I did pack my Instax Mini, which I did not use. I wouldn't even recommend taking it unless you're 100% sure you're going to use it, because it was just a waste of space. So definitely not that one. I also packed my Vaseline, and that was because a lot of the videos I watched using gas and air, which is what I wanted to use, your lips get really dry. So I packed this, but again, I didn't actually use it, and I think I can't remember if my lips did get dry or not, but I was drinking so much that I don't think they did. I didn't notice it anyway. I did actually use this for another reason for Ava, which I will explain soon. So I'm going to put that in the baby bag because that's actually what I used it for the most. Another good suggestion that I didn't use was a cool spritz, especially in the summer when you're giving birth and you want to cool down quickly. You could just have a spray or something like that. And that was all I used for actual labour. I really didn't need much at all, and I didn't pack a lot either. Snacks were a very important thing for me. I packed, as you'll know from my birth story, a big pack of 4 Lucozades, which I drank every single one in the time of my labour. And then I also packed lots of crisps and chocolate, which I didn't use in my labour, which I thought I would because I didn't have a chance to eat and I didn't even eat dinner. But if you do want to pack snacks for the labour, then you're absolutely welcome to, as long as the hospital have said that that's okay. I tell you when I did use my snacks. I ate them after I had Ava, and when I stayed overnight, so in the morning, I had snacks then. But throughout my labour, I did not use the snacks at all. Moving on to the afterbirth care, that is where most of the stuff I packed was for, not necessarily birth. So the first thing that you will need is maternity pads. Now, I don't have any more maternity pads to show you, so I just have my sanitary towels, just as an example. I bought a big pack of 10 maternity pads from Boots, but I would even recommend bringing more if you wanted to, just because you don't know how long you're necessarily going to be in hospital for after, and also because I was doubling up on maternity pads. You bleed a lot after birth. And the other thing is to make sure you bring some granny knickers. Sorry for those grannies out there, but these were the ones that I used. I bought a big pack of 10 black ones from Primark, and the reason I got high-waisted was because I wasn't sure whether I was going to be having a cesarean or not. You never know, it could have been an emergency, so it's always nice to have underwear that would come above your scar because you don't want anything rubbing. So I bought them just in case. Definitely get black ones, because in case you leak or anything like that, you don't want white or colourful. Black just hides it all. This is one of the maternity bras that I used. It has the hooks here. I have to admit, this is a Mothercare one, and obviously Mothercare isn't open anymore, but I prefer the Primark ones to these. I've got one of the Primark ones on right now, but it's just your preference. Try some on, see what's more comfortable for you. I also went up 1 to 2 sizes. Okay, got a different toy. And this one? Good girl. I thought I recorded this part of it, but apparently I didn't. So I'm just going to add this picture and explain to you that you do need to bring some going home clothes, comfiest clothes as possible, some maternity leggings, because although you've had your baby, you're still going to have a small bump. So just some comfy clothes, maybe a loose top, something that's easy to breastfeed if you're breastfeeding. Next thing, my wash bag. This is where most of the stuff comes in place. So I just wanted to show you my wash bag. The front of it made me laugh a lot, and it was definitely convenient for the situation. It said, "I am ready for anything." So I thought that was really good, just like a little bit of motivation, and I thought it was quite funny. I had 2 breast pads, which I did not use. I wouldn't necessarily say don't bring them, because you just never know when your milk is going to come through, but the first few days is usually colostrum, and I didn't leak at all, but everyone's different, so just bring a couple with you just in case, because you just don't know. After birth, you want to have a shower. Because I gave birth to Ava at midnight, I didn't actually have a shower till the next day, which sounds really disgusting. But I was so exhausted, and Bailey didn't leave the hospital until about 4 in the morning, at which point I just went to sleep. And then when I woke up in the morning, because I was on my own with Ava, I can't exactly leave her alone while I have a shower. So I had to wait until Bailey came back again in the hospital to look after Ava while I had a shower. Once I did, it's the nicest shower you will ever have. So I bought some Femme Fresh, and I didn't use the Femme Fresh, I used this one instead, because I felt like I wanted something completely natural, non-scented, soap-free. So I actually bought a Boots one, which is the Gentle Feminine Wash, and it says it has soap-free and pH balance for everyday use. I have no idea what she's doing right now. The next thing, obviously, toothbrush. This was just a travel one, and toothpaste, obviously. I did not bring any makeup whatsoever, because makeup is the last thing that I would want to be doing. Everyone's obviously different, but honestly, you do not want to be putting makeup on when you just had a baby. It's just not what you want to do. But I bought some face wash stuff just to freshen my face up after labour. I also had a dry shampoo. I did bring shampoo and conditioner, but there was no hair dryers in the hospital. So if you do want to definitely wash your hair, then I would 100% pack a hairdryer. I didn't do that, and I kind of wish I did, especially because you don't know how long you're going to be staying in hospital for. But if not, dry shampoo is always perfect to use. Finally, coming on to my favourite thing, which I would definitely 100% recommend, is the My Expert Midwife Spritz for BITZ. This is not a sponsored advert or anything like that. It's just what I absolutely loved, and I used most of this bottle through my postpartum period. There's only got a small bit left in there. I don't really know why I've still got it, because it's not like I'm going to use it anymore. I didn't bring any cosmetic pads, which definitely do that, because it was so nice to spray this on one of the pads and just gently wipe down there. It was magical. I can't explain to you. It was just so refreshing, and it's soothing as well. This is what the bottle looks like. It's by My Expert Midwife, and I almost forgot that you need paracetamol. Do not forget this, because you will 100% need it, whether you've had a C-section or given birth naturally. So that is my bag done. There's not much else I can think of. Obviously, you need to make a list of things that you can pack in the last minute. For example, chargers, phone, purse. You could always have money ready if you're going to the car park. If you're driving to a car park, don't forget to have some change ready. And if you're in a rush, then I would definitely write a note and leave it on the dashboard saying that your wife or girlfriend is in labour, just because you don't know what situation may happen. Bailey and I were fortunate enough to get a taxi. It was only a 5-minute ride to the hospital, and we found that much easier because parking in the hospital is a nightmare. He's saying da da da. Moving on to Ava's bag. Some of the stuff in here, I thought I was leaking then. Some of the stuff in here is actually stuff that I used for Ava as a newborn, because I saved it. I didn't want to throw it away. It's just meant too much to me. So first thing I packed was the baby outfits. Now, because I didn't know whether Ava was going to be premature or not, I did have a premature baby clothes set, which I did sell in the end because it was unused. I did pack tiny baby size as well as newborn size, because I didn't know whether she'd be small or big or whatever, but looking at my bump, she didn't look like she was going to be too big. So this is a tiny baby one, which she did fit in, but she grew out of very quickly, and this was what I put her in. This is what I put her in after she was born, and it says on the front, "We got this, mama." And I thought that was really nice, because I was really scared about being on my own with Ava overnight. So that's one. But you want to pack a spare as well, because you don't know whether she's going to wee, poo, whatever it is, or how long you're going to be in hospital for. So I packed another one as well, which was this. Because Ava was born in the winter, I also packed some cardigans and a blanket as well. Another thing that you definitely need to pack for your baby is a hat. After they're born, the midwife straight away put a hat on your baby, as you think they've just come out of a really warm place into this freezing atmosphere, so they're definitely going to need a hat. I did pack one, but I didn't get one out in my labour. The hospital that I had Ava at did have hats there that were knitted, and this is the hat that was put on Ava, which I thought is really cute. It's just a knitted one, but I did have hats with me as well, which I used the next day. Next thing is you're going to want a small pack of nappies. These are Ava's nappies now, so they are too big. These are size 3, but I would get a pack of size 1 nappies to bring with you. Then I packed some water wipes, which are natural and they're quite expensive, but they're very natural, and I didn't want to use anything harsh on Ava when she was first born. These are the wipes I use now, but we're going to pretend that these are water wipes. Then I packed pseudo cream, which I did not use at all. I mean, it's always best to pack it just in case, but I did not use it. And this is where the Vaseline comes in handy, because if I can find it, the Vaseline is what I used on Ava's bum. A midwife told me that because their poos are so sticky at the beginning, it's the meconium, the Vaseline stops it from sticking to their skin. So I put that on her bum before she did her first poo, and it made it a lot easier to clean. So I would definitely recommend bringing Vaseline, whether it's for your lips in labour or for her bum after labour. I also brought 2 vests with me. These vests are her vests now, so they are 3 to 6 months. They're not newborn ones. So I packed 2 vests with me as well, and I put this underneath her sleep suits because it was so cold. And I packed 2 muslin cloths, which I didn't use at all, but everyone's different. You may want to use it for breastfeeding or burping, but just for me, I didn't use. I almost forgot. Make sure you pack socks with you. Their tiny feet are so cute, but they need to be covered up because they get very cold, so make sure you pack socks. I also packed a nappy rash cream. Did not use at all. Was only there for a short amount of time in the hospital. She didn't have enough time to be developing a nappy rash, so I don't really know why I packed it. The other thing, which I have no idea why I packed at all, was Johnson's baby wash and also face and body lotion. Didn't use this, definitely not use this. Where are you going to be bathing your baby? It's not going to happen. So there was no point packing this. I wouldn't recommend packing a soap at all. Another thing that I didn't use yet, I only used it after a couple of days, was the Lancino nipple cream. It is one of the best nipple creams out there, and I would recommend getting this for you, but I didn't have sore nipples until after a couple of days. Then going home, I packed a big puffy snowsuit for Ava. It was a newborn one from MATERNITY.
When I got home, the midwife actually told me that these suits are not meant for car seats, just because the straps can't go as tight as they should be.
And I was so worried about her suffocating because it was so puffy. But the other option, you can use coats, cardigans or blankets and just make them really snug in their car seat. Make sure that you obviously bring your car seat with you. That's a very important one. They won't let you go home without a car seat. That was everything that I packed in my hospital bags. Like I said, if I've forgotten anything, please remind me. Someone has also asked me to speak to you guys about how to prepare for labour and how I prepared for labour. So I didn't really do a lot to prepare for labour, but what I did do is watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I also had a pregnancy book, this pregnancy book, and it was just the best thing ever. Along with YouTube videos, the combination sort of prepared me for labour. The other thing that I did was watched One Born every minute a lot, but I wouldn't necessarily say to do that, just because a lot of the mums on there have difficulties in the birth, which is not very common. Because it's a TV programme, they obviously want to make it more dramatic. This book has a whole section on labour and all the possibilities within labour as well, and how to deal with them, along with pregnancy week by week, and what to expect after birth as well. So I definitely recommend getting this book if you can. It is also very important to keep yourself fit and healthy as another way of preparing for labour. When you are in better shape and your muscles are stronger, it's easier to push, you have more stamina, and your labour can be quicker and easier. For months leading up to labour, I also read that if you put olive oil in your vaginal area and between your perineum, it was meant to make it more stretchy. Whether that works or not, I have no idea, but I was so scared of getting a episiotomy, which I did get in the end. But But whether the olive oil helped or not, I have no idea. It's also really good to practice relaxation techniques such as meditation, listening to calm music, or hypnobirthing, which I didn't actually do, but I did look into at the time. It's really important to find your relaxation techniques to make sure you remain calm, because the calmer you are, the better your labour is going to be and the better experience you have altogether. I hope this has helped for any of the mums out there that are planning their labour and packing their hospital bag. Please let me know if you need any advice or help at all. Please subscribe to receive notifications of any future videos.